Hey, this is Joe Price. I just wanted to show you how to use the Add Family tool for the project we're doing with Texas death records. And you should already have access to this sheet, and I'll just walk you through some of the steps. First thing we're going to do is just download the tool. You see it, Add Tool 2.0. So if we come in here, we're just going to hit Download. And then notice it's going to have this message that says it's too big to scan for viruses. You're going to have to trust us on this one, but you're going to download anyway. And then notice right down here in my lower left, it's going to download, and I actually downloaded this previously, so I'll just show you what you do next. You're going to right click and do show in folder, and notice it's going to end up in my download folder. Okay, so here I'm in downloads, and there's the exe file that we're downloading. Okay, so that's the exe file. Now we're going to go get a batch. So next thing we're going to do is come down here to step 2. So we're going to check out a batch, and so right here I'm just going to actually use one of the batches that I already checked out. So see TMM1 Joe Price, and I check that out. Okay, so you'll just put your name in, in the new thing. Okay, then we're going to go to this link, which is where all the batches are. And so you can see that right here, there's TMM1, the one I checked out. So I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to hit download. Okay, and this one will already be there, so that's why there's a little 1 in parentheses, because I've already downloaded it. Okay, so now the good thing is I have both my files in the same place. I'm actually going to delete these two because I downloaded them a second time. Okay, so I've got my TMM1 file and then my exe file. So I'm going to click my exe file. And it takes about 30 seconds for it to load. So let me just explain what's going to be coming next. The very next thing that's going to happen is it's going to ask me for the file name. So that's going to be tmm1.csv. And you want to include the CSV part. Then it's going to ask me for my username and password. And so I'll type those in. And then over here, there's going to be a browser. And so then we're going to start to interact with that browser from the command prompt. So everything you do is always going to be typed in over here. So notice here it's asking for the file's name. So I'm just going to type in tm1.csv. Okay. Now what's going to happen is a browser is going to show up over here on the left. So here's my browser. Let me just resize my command prompt. And then what's going to happen here, let me just make it bigger so you can see it. Right here it says username. But then there's an error message afterwards, so that's okay. I'm still going to type in my username. So just kind of type it into that next spot that opens up. And then it says your password. Now notice that I'm typing it in over here rather than over here. So don't type it in on the left because the program's going to basically fill it in. Okay, and so that was the hard part, was just downloading the exe file, downloading the file, and then getting it running. And now's the fun part. Now it's saying, would you like to add and attach these records? So you can either type Y, enter, or if you just hit enter, it's the same thing. So I'm going to just hit enter. And notice now it just attached that record to Dario. Now it could take a while, so just be patient. It'll just do its thing. And now it just added Dario's father, Jacinto. And then it's also going to attach that record to him. And then it's going to do the same thing for his mother. So what we just did is we just created a little island for this family. And so now Dario's on the tree with his father and mother. Now at this point I could say I'm finished, or I could go explore a little bit. So let's go check out Dario for a second. Okay, and so notice now that I come in here, there's going to start to show up other records for Dario. In this case, actually, there's a possible duplicate, which is great, because that means that somehow our original search for him didn't pull up a possible match. But now as we look at this, you can see that there are some similarities between these two people, but it's really hard to tell that it's a slam dunk. So that is a possible duplicate, and we could explore that. We also have these other records that we could look at. Here we have a death index. Let's take a look at that. So this one's good. And so you're always welcome to go explore, because what we've done now is created a little island for Dario. In the training meeting, we talked about how you can go to Ancestry and look for more information. You could find other records for this family. But let me show you now. So once I'm done doing my exploring, I just come back over here and I just hit enter. And then what it's going to do is just load up the next family. Now don't worry if you don't do all the exploring right now. There's going to be plenty of times, more opportunities to explore these families. Really, this is stage 1. Our goal right now is just to get these families on the tree. And then once these families are on the tree, we're going to be coming back and doing record hints and expanding out these little islands. We just find that this gives us a really good base foundation on which to build all the other ways that we do community reconstitution and help people find their families. So I hope you have a great experience. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions. But just know that Every time you add a family to the tree, you're making it possible for someone to find their grandparents or great-grandparents. And that's really the goal here. We want everyone that when you reach out to them in your community and say, would you like to find your family on the family tree? We want that to happen for everyone. We want everyone to be able to find their grandparents and their great-grandparents on the family tree. So thanks for all your help.